And welcome back to another morning on Mimas. With me, 54 Bear, the Complete Idiot. This is the Complete Idiot's Guide to Stationeers, and we are on Mimas. Haven't done anything at all to the greenhouse since the last thing. I did try placing some grow lights, but my placement of the Harveys is all wrong, so I need to rejig that whole thing. But I'm not exactly ready for it anyway. I had connected this tank here to the regular CO2 tank out here. I've put a valve on it to shut it off. This has still got fairly hot CO2 in it. I'm going to keep it as hot for the moment. I do have the capacity to cool a little bit at a time in this pipe network and suck it into the base as needed. But for the moment, I should just leave that as warmish gas. Or is it 430? It was 500. I did try cooling the whole tank down, and then I thought, no, there's a better way. We're on Mimas, and at the moment, we are still completely reliant on solid fuel generator. There's a brick of solid fuel in there. It's okay. You could conceivably do it. It does mean you have to do a lot of coal mining or set up the deep miner and hopefully manage to pull enough coal out of the ground that way. I would like to still want to get the base to be fully self-sufficient, which, as I mentioned before, does require a large greenhouse, lots of growing. But in the meantime, I have decided, or I have tried to get the Stirling generators going. And yes, it does work, but it doesn't work quite as well as I was hoping, primarily because I kind of misunderstood how it works. I still may not be 100% right on this, but when you look at the info panel on each Stirling generator, it refers to the hot side and the cold side. Temperature on the hot side is 312, temperature on the cold side is 250. Those are kelvins. I was thinking that this output was the cold side. It's not. It's actually the environment that you're in. So, because these things require an atmosphere in order to work. So that's how it's working. It's literally transferring heat from the tank to the environment and generating some power out of it. Now, you've seen I've got these huge radiators up here. They're not on any kind of switch or logic. They're on all the time. When these generators are going full chat, then it does get quite warm in here. At the moment, they're basically not doing much of anything. They are generating some charge, 54 watts in this case, 56 here. So, yeah, not really worth doing anything with at the moment. So we'll shut them all off. Now, I have set up a CO2 filtration in here. This pulls CO2 from a variety of different sources, and I can control which one it's actually doing by a series of valves over there. At the moment, let's see, what are we connected to? Yeah, so we got almost 3% CO2, but it's at 760. So what I'll do is I'll fire this up, and this will gradually bring in more CO2 into here. Filters are good. Yeah. So, this CO2 is quite usable. In fact, I should probably not do that. Thinking about it. I wish these buttons would turn red when they're off like they're supposed to. It's supposed to be like this button over here, but they don't do it. Anyway, so this is the Mark 1 version of the power shed. I've tried, the reason why they're offset like this is I tried a few different pipe configurations to see which would work best. Sometimes them going over the top. Really and truly, they should all be in a line just with an extra space between them so that the inputs and the outputs don't necessarily go together. From what I've been able to tell of my own testing, albeit in a very disorganized manner, is you can connect the pipes. We'll just do a single one like that. Connecting the input and the output together, it still works fine. It doesn't seem to make any difference whether if you have a separate pipe network going to a different tank or something. I've not been able to figure out any difference in the way that they're connected. So really and truly, I don't know what function the output actually has. I think the gas comes out of there a little colder, but then you'd feed it into the next one and next one and next one. Yeah, as far as power generation goes, it didn't seem to make any difference. So what I have out here is another tank. This one's empty, and I plan on filling that from the tank I had put up on top of the greenhouse. This one up here. I haven't actually made the connection yet because, as with most things, I ran out of pipe. So need to go in and print up some more of those. And also for chits and giggles, I put in a new battery that is supplied by the generators in there, and I don't have anything connected to it. And this is the only thing that actually plugs into that, so this would not receive any charge from the solid fuel generator. This is just so I can keep an eye on how much juice I'm actually generating. The reason why there's so little in there is I've only just done that. So that was these things ticking over at generating 100 watts for a little while as it got the gas temperature down. So these two consoles, they're monitoring that grey tank at the end. So my temperature is down to 39.5. That's eminently usable. It's still a little warm for what you want for a greenhouse, but at these temperatures, you really don't get much electric. There's very little potential energy in there. So probably not worth the effort of continuing with it. So yeah, I have regular pipes, but I don't want to use those. So we need to go and make some more pipes. That's not the right printer. What do I have in there? Nothing. Good. Yeah. All right, 21 of those. That'll be enough. Also plan on putting together a basic hydrogen, oxygen, or volatile oxygen fuel mixture, and getting the solid fuel, the gas fuel generator up and running. Actually, I should actually make one of those. Whilst I think about it, gas fuel generator. Yeah, I think it needs electronic parts. I'm not yet 100% certain. Alright, so we're out of steel. I do have a lot of steel, so I could print more if needed, but I think this is going to be enough for now. I'm trying to get into the habit of turning things off when I remember. Where's my backpack? No, it's not. Oh yeah, we'll just let that one print. That doesn't actually need to be on. Mushroom's doing okay. These ones, they'll decay in 14 hours. Oh, shit. Oops. The dangers of not having a proper airlock. How much damage did I do to the atmosphere in here? Oh, 75, that's okay. Really should get this converted into a proper airlock. Okay, so we were going to continue with this. I just want to make certain. All right, this is empty. That's good. Right, that's closed. Good. So this will dry all everything that's in this pipe and this tank. I want to put into that one over there, and then I shall connect the existing tank that's in there to this one and pump it all in here. That will give me a starting supply of cool CO2. And then as the thermal energy is sucked out of what's currently in here, that will be moved into the orange one, then that'll give me a top up for that. And it will give me some energy. I don't know how much. I don't know whether this is worth it or not. We will find out. All right, let's do that. Also, I really don't know if this is going to work because it's not the right colour. We'll find out. Oh, and I'm going to be short on pipe, I think. Yep, one short. Oop. Bugger. I'm just going to cheat.
Power low.
Steal one from there. There we go. So make certain it's bringing it in. Lovely jubbly. Right, probably won't take that long. So yeah, 3,000 moles. Yeah, it shouldn't take an inordinate amount of time. And once that's done, as I said, we're going to disconnect these olive-coloured pipes from this tank. We'll run this tank, well, we'll branch into this and send it back that way. That's the basic idea. And that will give us enough to actually put some CO2 in there. I said I do have a lot of work to do here. There isn't enough room for a grow light to go, so these things need to go out one. I haven't figured out what an optimal placement for the grow lights are. I've seen some people put them on the walls. I might actually try that. To be honest, I don't have much experience with Harveys and none at all when it comes to automating them. Cows Are Evil has done a bang-up job of getting a good Harvey script going, and I think I understand how he's actually making it work. I look forward to giving it a try. And for the initial atmosphere, I'm just going to get a load of oxide, chuck it in there and get it to populate that way. I don't think there's any way you could generate enough atmosphere from the little greenhouse starter base that we have. So yeah, that'll be stuff we pull from the ground. As far as this furnace goes, I haven't actually touched the hot gas at all. It's still at 2007 degrees. The cooling, I was going to just add some more from the waste tank, because you see I've got 43 megapascals in there, and it's 760 degrees. But again, in the theme of waste not, want not, there's a lot of thermal energy tied up in there. If I just put it into the cooling tank and vent the heat off into space, that is potential energy that's wasted. So I would kind of like a way of extracting whatever energy I can from that. That's why this filtration unit is designed to populate that tank. But as I said, I'm not going to put anything more in it because that CO2 is already cooled down enough. Want to replace it with some hotter stuff. So we're really playing musical gas or musical tanks here. Right, so well, there is a little left, and we'll just let it run for a few minutes longer. Make certain all the pipes at the back are okay. I have had some issues when firing up, especially this furnace here. This little red elbow frequently blows out. I had thought it was a game bug. Well, I think it is, because if you do it too soon after a restart, as soon as I would start pumping stuff in here, instantly it would blow. And it would read some crazy temperatures. The game thought that there was a bit of liquid in there, I think. One way around it is, instead of having this immediately blast in at 100, I just scale it down to 10 and put a little bit in. That seems to be able to fix it. But yeah, it was kind of weird. I also had a bit of a excitement before I decided to harvest all the energy. This thing had volatiles in it, and I didn't realize. And this had a little bit of oxide in it as well. Hot gas get pumped into there, very large explosion. I mean, basically nothing survived. Everything up to here was just gone. I didn't have the heart to grind it all down and rebuild it again, so I just safe scummed. All right. Now, I would like to do some more smelting, some more degassing using this furnace, but I don't really have much capacity here. I don't want to put any more in there. And as I said, I don't really want to cool that stuff down. You see this filtration is pulling volatiles out. I can get it to pull out of, directly out of this red and brown pipe, because occasionally you end up with volatiles there on the off-gassing. It's nice to get rid of them, get stored in the hot tank or the hot volatiles tank. Likewise, the blue pipe, I can pull them directly out of the cooling tank, and the brown, I can pull them directly out of the waste tank. I was thinking of doing the same thing with this one, but to be honest, this is my hot tank. I don't care if it gets hot. The hotter it is, the better. So, yeah, that's taking care of managing explosions that way. Now, as far as getting the different gases into there, I do need to figure out some valvage that will let me select which tank I want to pull from. I mean, the sensible way would be to of course I don't have any more pipe. Yeah, the sensible way would be to run another pipe alongside this one with a couple of valves, so I could turn one on or off. But there's really not much heat in this, although there is a lot of CO2, which could be useful. But again, it's only 260 degrees, so you wouldn't get a lot of energy out of that. All right, let's check this pipe. This should be fairly close to empty. Now it is 6/1000ths of a mole, and then it goes down into the millimoles. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we're going to call that done. All right, so now we need to get this plumbed into that. And of course, I have no pipe. So we're going to have to go and print a load of pipe before we can do anything else. And it's steel that we're short of. And we'll also be running out of silicon as well. Yeah, turn that on. How are our plants doing? Okay, they're getting ready for seeding. Should be okay. Mushrooms, yeah, they're doing okay. I added a another little, where are we? Open. I did another display that will show what the battery charge is instead, save me having to hold the thing over here. Actually, that's weird. Why is that? What's that showing? What am I storing onto the DB? I'm not storing anything on this, so why is it showing anything? Okay. I must be holding on to the very last thing the last time it wrote to it. Interesting. Anyway, so the battery charge should be, is 29%. And we got 78 units of solid fuel in the solid fuel generator. Plus there is another 500 stack of solid fuel ready to go after that. So we're good on power for the foreseeable future. Can do with changing the battery here. Should probably check the other ones as well. That one's okay. Oh, that one's out. Probably means I left it turned on. Yep. Spend a lot of time waiting for batteries to charge up in this game. Alright, well, that's enough of those for now. We'll let it print up the rest because I'm sure I'll end up using them or needing them. Okay, so part of what we want to do is connect this tank to this feed and then this tank to this. Now, let's just make certain we've sucked it out completely. Oh, yeah, it will be able to come there. Will I need any of those? Don't think so. Oh, might need a couple of valves. Don't need any glass. Might need a bit more cable. Don't think I'll need any more tanks inside there. Yeah, what's that? Oh, ice crushers. Yeah, that'll be for me fuel setup. Don't need those in there. Okay, so temperature in that tank is 39.5.
Hydration critical.
Now, in order to save all of it, what I should probably do is suck this out. So pressure regulator will do. Make pressure, set it to 0, turn it on. There's the back pressure, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah, I would be better off with a volume pump. Oh, and I have a turbo one left. Good. All right, chuck that in there. Let's go get some water. Oh yeah, finish me French fries. Let's make another one. Okay, that should keep us fed and watered for long enough. Oh, okay, that's fine. Let's check on this pressure. Yeah, very slow. Direction. Whoop. 100. Lovely job. Right, so we want to get this orange pipe into there, and this stuff we want to get into this pipe. So cue ugly piping, which long-time viewers may recognize as being a bit of a mantra for me. Okay, so alrighty, so this one trying to think what's going to be the easiest way doing it. Yeah, I think we move that across. Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. I don't really have room for a pipe here unless I, or a pump unless I like mount it in the air, which don't really feel like doing. I like pipes when they're on the ceiling to be high enough that you can walk under them, because I spend a lot of time walking on ceilings. Right, is there any way I can reposition that pipe so I can reuse it? Well, I'm thinking this might be a semi-regular thing. I mean, I've got the hot gases that will be coming in conceivably from the waste tank in the future, and there is some CO2 in there, I believe. Yeah, 850 moles at 700 degrees. Maybe I should just do a heat exchange. All that does is it just equalizes the temperatures. Now I think I'd rather get the CO2 out of those tanks and into here. We just need to have a way of switching, like to drain the energy from one tank whilst reusing the other one. That's what I'm thinking of, and I'm trying to figure out an easy way where I can have them connected via valves that would allow it, the easy pumping between one or the other. I mean, strictly speaking, this one didn't have to be indoors. And it'd be quite easy just to put a pump on it and suck it dry. But to do it in a way that doesn't require rebuilding everything anytime I want to swap tanks over would be worth pursuing. But I'm not quite certain how I'm going to do that. The original CO2 tank I'll probably cut off completely. Although I may leave the pipes connecting them just because it looks kind of cool. Actually, let's put that one, missing one back. I don't like having holes in the pipes. Yeah. If I get the CO2 out, how low is the pressure going to go here? Well, it's only 2% or 3% of the volume, so not much. So what should I do with the rest of the stuff? It would be nice to get the nitrous out, because I'd still like the idea of playing around with nitrous fuel. Just I don't like dealing with the holes in my base that usually result from the explosion that happens shortly afterwards. Get to the point where I think, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing, and then the game actually demonstrates to me that actually, Bear, you have no idea what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, for the moment I'm just going to suck it out. Let's see. I guess I will reuse this one. Yeah, so that is that. Connected all the way here. Oh, then I got to get power up here as well, don't I? Well, I have some actually not that far away, so that'll work. Turn it around so the power's there. Set the direction. Okay. Yep, that should work. Right. tablet. Yeah, so I was bringing in some nice 40 degrees CO2. And we want to make certain it works properly, so we will give it a suitable colour. Ba-doing. All right. Just let that finish off. Right, so where to put this CO2? That's at 760. And this stuff is at 430, so that would actually warm that up. That's actually okay. So, and of course I've connected the pipe to the wrong place. Oh well, rejig it after we have got the stuff sucked out of here. So I really don't think we're going to get a lot of energy out of it. It's just, I know there's some in it, and it offends me somehow that we would be voluntarily throwing away a source of some energy on a moon that has so little solar energy to start with. I have to ask myself, what would Mark Watney do? Mark Watney, if you didn't know, was the title character from the Martian movie, which I actually enjoyed, despite the fact that there was some very serious flaws in the basic storyline. The premise, I thought, was very interesting. Oh, damn it. I turn this on every time I remember. I have not seen a seed trader yet in this entire playthrough. Where am I? Oh, I've got a couple of icons blocking my day counter. Well, it's a lot of days. I think probably 6 months worth of game time. Anyway, that can actually be running independent of what we wanted to do with the Stirlings. I don't have anything on it that is monitoring the power output, other than the configuration cartridge. We should see some numbers that were a little bit better than we were seeing before. Temperature's minus 107 in here, so it's very cold, but these will heat it up quite quickly. Alright, so Power generation 2.3 kilowatts. And that will be cooling down the temperature in that tank quite a bit. And I know it costs resources to build the Stirlings, but you know, that energy would just go to waste if we were venting it into space. Seems sensible that if you've got a gas that you're going to use and you're going to cool it down, or it needs to be cooled down, you may as well extract whatever energy you can out of it beforehand. So we see that. Yep. Now bear in mind there's no drain on that big battery right there. It's just there to see how much we can get from it. Yeah, so this room will heat up. It's already minus 37, minus 36, so the temperature is crawling up. These radiators are not enough to cope with 3 or with 4 of them. Let's see, if I turn one off, wonder if that slows down the rate of warming. Not really. Let's try just with 2. Oh, it's still warming up. Get these out of the way. So environmental, operational or operating efficiency 98%. It has a fairly wide range of what it considers 100%. So yeah, that number of radiators isn't even enough to keep up with 2 Stirlings. 1, I think the room actually does cool down. So what do we have? 3, 6. So it's probably a ratio of 5 to 1, something like that, that you need, probably. And of course, if we just have one going, then it'll just keep running for longer. These don't actually require any power to run. You know, once you've built them, they're there. All right, we'll just leave it going with 1 for the moment, and I'll actually the room is it cooling down? Or does it just depend where I'm standing? It seems to be stuck at minus 15, and it's 99% efficiency, so it could probably be a little warmer. So let's just fire one of these up for a little while. Get it a couple of degrees warmer. Still 99. Let's get it to say minus 5, see how it handles that. Okay. Yeah, 100%. Okay, now of course this is reading the wrong tank now, so yeah, I may rejig it, I may not. Probably the sensible thing is to have it always feed from this pipe and then just use this as a staging. Maybe. I don't know. We have to look at which solution requires the messiest pipework, and then we'll go along with that solution. Because reasons. Okay, and whilst I'm doing that, I can pull in the if I break this connection, assuming that this is now dry, okay, that's good. So we have a valve on it. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, so break it there. Put a valve in. Good. So now when we turn this back on, we'll be putting hot CO2 into this tank, which should be empty. Yep. Yeah, so there's not going to be that much in here. It's going to get, I think it's like 800 moles or something like that. Yeah. So once we've got this tank down to a suitable temperature, we'll pump that back to the grey tank up there. And then we'll run this through as well. Then that'll be probably all the CO2 that we'll deal with. We should have enough to keep the greenhouses going for a very considerably long period of time. How much is this generating now? 1.3. Yeah, still less than 50%, but we're still, that's half a, or a bit less than half of the biggest battery. So yeah, we've got some juice out of it. It has been worth doing. And we're plus 15, plus 12. Wow, this one is still too much for all of these radiators to deal with. That is a surprise. Let's see how we do in there. Oh, very little pressure, but and if I was okay with throwing gases away, then I could do all the degassing now and then just like vent a load of this stuff. But as I said, I can't imagine Mark Watney would voluntarily throw away stuff that was potentially useful. So we're not going to either. Unfortunately, it does mean a delay in processing any of the ores I have, and I've got like 3 mining backpacks that are pretty close to full. That one's full of iron. Bit of gold and half of copper. And more coal and silicon. So all stuff that needs to be, I mean, none of that stuff has been off-gassed. All of this stuff has been. So with apart from iron, I've got enough of probably anything else that I would need. I mean, there is room here. I could off-gas some of it. Why don't I do the iron? I think that should be good enough. Yeah. Use the thing the way it's meant to be. This is the iron one, I think. Yep. So that's all good. Turn this on. Right, so we got 100 kPa at 950k in the hotbox. Nothing in the combustion chamber. This is the line for the hot hydrogen. I don't want to use that. So we'll bring it in just at 10 to begin with. Stop that pipe from bursting. Okay. Turn on the unpacker. Turn on the sorter. And there we go. Now we'll crank that back up to 100 just in case the pressure starts to go haywire in here. Oh, it's actually going to spin out ingots even better. Oh, no, it's already cooled down. That's fine, it will stay hot enough to do the degassing. How many ingots did I get? 2. No, that's fine. Couldn't do that if you tried, could you? And it finally collapses. Oh, that was cute. Alright, so yeah, we're going to be able to get all of that pressure in there, no problem. How much CO2 have we got in there? Oh, a fair bit. Not super hot, but we'll pull it out anyway. I think that might be the last one. Yep.
Power critical.
Okay, so pull that out. Yep, we're good. Let's put the painting down there. That one down there. That one down there. I'll drop the mining belt as well because don't want to put anything in there. There we go. So, and of course I have nowhere to store it. In that case, smelt it. Alright, so all of this has been... Let's see, I should be able to stand here, I think. And just feed it in. Yep. Can't remember how many shoots I put on this, and okay, you can see it's full now. So that's going to process the whole thing, and I don't end up with pressure going up or the temperature cooling down, which is kind of weird. Cold ingots going in do not require heating up. I'm sure at some point the devs will work on eliminating that glitch, but for the moment it's free smelting. This by virtue of the hot box keeping the furnace to the required temperature. Actually, I think I had one up there, but I was going to hold that back in case I needed some solder. Reminds me of the days when I was using the 50G ore mod, and I'd be making steel in 2 kilo batches. Like when you're working with a 50G ore mod and an ore stacking mod, you know, an ore stack is 500 instead of 50. To be honest, it was a little bit cheaty. And I think my battery just went out. Oh! Close that. Swap that. Cool. I think we're all done. Yep. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't have room for it. Alright, so that one's empty now. Okay. All done. Anyway, that's where we are at the moment. See how much juice we have in our battery. 59%. That's the ratio, 0.0591. That's 59.1%. And I would imagine most of this is cooled off now. Oh, 270, you could still pull more out of it. I mean, the Stirlings will continue to work, it's just they work very, very slowly. Yeah, in the real world, they would get to a point where they just didn't have enough energy to overcome friction, but that's not a thing, thankfully, in the game. If they ever tried to mod that or model that in the game, I think we would all be in very deep trouble. Oh, of course I have these little ones as well. Maybe I should leave a 500 chunk out here just for mixing and matching. Let's see, this one can get combined. Right, so I've got some gold, some silver, some lead, some iron. Yeah. That pressure's coming down, but that's probably because the CO2 is getting pulled out of it. Uh, 1.2 kilomoles. Yeah, still a fair old amount to go. How's that tank doing? Well, pressure is going up very slowly, but there again, the filtration things are not great pumps. They used to be phenomenal. They'd like pump a lot of stuff, but since all the reworks, yeah, you can't really use them as pumps anymore. I mean, they'll function as it, but they're very inefficient. Anyway, that's it for this one. Yes, we are extracting some power from hot gases. We'll continue along in that vein. We do need to keep some hot, but I made this tank of super hot gas, and to be honest, I've not yet delved into it. So now we may end up running this lot through the Stirling generator as well, in which case things should chooch along quite nicely. Alright, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. 54 Bear out.